The City of Ohio State podcast takes a deep dive into the support services that keep OSU's Columbus campus running 24/7. Hear from industry experts in facilities, construction, real estate, public safety, transportation, and more. The City of Ohio State podcast is brought to you by the Office of Administration and Planning. Go Bucks! Hello and welcome to the City of Ohio State podcast. I'm your host, Dan Hedman. Last episode, we chatted about campus construction. For episode 3, we'll cross the street and get an update on the 15th and High project as we learn about the future of campus planning at Ohio State. Our guest is Amanda Hoffsis, soon to be the new Vice President of Ohio State's Planning, Architecture, and Real Estate. Amanda, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Dan.
Before we discuss 15th and High, I think it would be good to explain the multiple hats you've worn here at Ohio State over the past several years. The planning office, known as PARE, has you in a position to shape campus expansion, but you've also held a chief role with the nonprofit Campus Partners, which is focused on improving the off-campus neighborhoods. So can you discuss briefly the primary goals of these two roles and two organizations and how you've navigated them both to this point?
Yeah, sure. Happy to. I think the easiest way to explain what PARE does for Ohio State is we really act almost like a developer, like you'd see out in the real world, quote unquote. And our job really is, we figure out what the next big projects are. We do the master planning for them. We figure out where they're going to go, what the program is that's going to be delivered by those projects. Do we need to buy property? Do we need to get easements in place? Is any zoning required? All those components about a project, that's our responsibility. And in addition, we also oversee at a macro level the design of the projects to make sure that as they move forward in their architectural design, they're meeting all of those objectives. And so those are the primary components to PARE. We also do a lot of real estate, and we're buying and selling properties. We're doing lots of leases, both as the landlord and the tenant. And we have a pretty significant portfolio that we manage day to day. So it's a pretty fun job, honestly. And it's all wrapped around kind of the mission of this major land grant university, which is, of course, research, teaching, and extension. So, it's a lot of fun. We get to work all over the state of Ohio. We get to work, in fact, in a lot of places beyond Ohio. And then obviously we're working a lot here in the city of Columbus on the Columbus campus. And then for Campus Partners, in a lot of ways, it's very similar. We have kind of a developer point of view from the type of work we do, but our mission is very much focused on, helping the neighborhoods that are adjacent to the university campus really kind of align with the goals of the broader community and the university as a whole. And so we want to be a good neighbor. The university wants to be a good neighbor, and Campus Partners helps the neighborhoods that are adjacent kind of take advantage of the resources within Ohio State and also help those neighborhoods be more sustainable. So it's really an interesting position. So we're really excited about how we can leverage these new opportunities happening on campus with things happening off campus, and how we can make those new and exciting developments really accessible to both the long-term residents and the students who live in those neighborhoods surrounding us. So it's a great option for me because I get to wear both those hats and care not only about campus, but draw a bigger circle and care a lot about how campus impacts and affects the neighborhood surrounding it and making sure that those effects are positive.
Yeah, there are a lot of synergies there that I've witnessed over the last few years working with you. So beginning July 1st, you'll take over as the new vice president at PARE, replacing Keith Myers, who held the role for nearly 10 years. Can you discuss taking the reins from Keith, who I know has been a mentor to you, how the duties you just discussed will shift or change in this new position?
Yeah, sometimes I think I'm crazy. Like, of any person to follow, I don't think anyone who knows Keith probably doesn't want to follow in his footsteps, because he is this amazing leader, and he's this amazing visionary. And so I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for taking this on, but I've also gotten the opportunity to work very closely with him for more than 10 years. Even before he joined Ohio State, we were partnering on a number of projects. In fact, I was here at Ohio State, and he was a consultant that we were hiring to help us with Cannon Drive master planning and a number of other projects. So I've known him for quite a while and had the privilege of working very closely with him here in PARE and with campus partners for almost 10 years now. And, it's been an amazing experience for me, a huge amount of learning for me personally. And, we've worked very, very closely together. And so on one hand, I'm really excited, and I feel very prepared for what lies ahead. I've watched him and worked with him on all of the major projects we've done over the past 10 years. And then on the other hand, he is such a vision. He has such a vision for this community. I still need to, up my game and really kind of use him and the reputation that he has created for this department, and figure out how to really keep that going and drive it ahead. And it's been an amazing kind of, the stature of our department has had an amazing increase in just how people look at us, how they respect us, the sophistication of our operations. And it is my intention to really continue to drive that forward and keep that going.
Yeah, I talk about driving it forward. I guess, what is your vision for planning moving forward? How will something like Framework 3.0, which I know is just getting underway, that's an update of the 2017 framework plan, how will that help shape the campus of the future here at Ohio State through your eyes?
Yeah, it's great timing. We have a new president, fairly new president, and we have a lot of new initiatives taking shape, new strategic plan taking shape. So it's a really good time to step back and take another look at our physical campus plan. I would say it's going to be more than an update. It's going to really take a hard look at campus broadly, and the timing is right, because we see the direction we're headed here at Ohio State with the growth in research, the growth regionally, and semiconductors and what Intel is bringing forward, just the growth in population locally. We have a lot of things today that we need to really contemplate as we begin to think about how campus will evolve into the future, from transportation and delivering education in the wake of COVID, and what that means, and what the campus environment will look like in the future, based on what will certainly be a hybrid of online learning, but still very much experiential learning right here on the heart of campus, and how we can make sure that this place is thriving and gives an experience to our students, our faculty, our staff that's really unmatched. And how do we ensure that and keep it modern and keep it moving forward, along with the growth that this region will no doubt see in the years to come?
Yeah, everything's always constantly changing and evolving, whether it's the city of Columbus or Ohio State. And so I think it is a good time, like you said, to take a look and plan for the future. Just off campus, there's exciting work taking place at 15th and High. We alluded to this off the top. I know you were a catalyst behind this project. You're humble, but I'll call it out. Getting this done basically by negotiating land buys, land swaps, securing 9 acres needed to build on that land at 15th and High. From your perspective, where are we at here? What's the latest on University Square, and why is this project so important?
Well, this project is my baby, Dan. For a long time,
I know that.
Been pushing that project forward, and it's if you haven't been to 15th and High in the past year or since COVID started, it has transformed in a really exciting way. There is a huge public plaza there that creates this connection across High Street in the location of the historic front door of the university, right there, by Mershon Auditorium, Sullivan Hall, the entrance to the Oval. It's a unique place in the history and legacy of the university. And it reflects the stature that the location really deserves. It's been where, protests have occurred and many really important moments in Ohio State's history have occurred at that location. And now I think it really represents it represents very, very specifically that town gown connection. It's open, in a way for the really inviting for the residents, both the long-term residents and the students who live, in the neighborhoods surrounding that site. And it also is very open to the university. So it's the place that we intend to really connect. And one of the really special places at 15th and High, at least to me, is Friendship Walk. And we worked with the Office of Linguistics to translate the word friendship into as many languages that are spoken here at Ohio State as we could. And they identified 141 languages, and they were able to find the most appropriate translation. Not all of them have specifically the word friendship in their language, but what would be the most appropriate translation to that. And if you walk, you'll see those different words in all those different languages embedded into the walk right there along 15th. And it's kind of it's a pretty amazing installation, and it really embodies the meaning that 15th and I has for me, which is this connection, this this notion of inclusion where everyone who comes to Ohio State or comes to the neighborhood needs to be included in our aspirational goals of research and education and extension that, we try to embody as a land grant institution.
Yeah, it really is a powerful installation. I've been over there, talk about inclusiveness, right? To represent all those different cultures and languages. And it's the epicenter of public radio now with WOSU at 14th and Pearl in their new headquarters. So really cool space over there. Another major focus area for the university is the Innovation District that's located over toward West Campus. You spoke recently with Columbus Business First about the support Ohio State received from the city of Columbus, state of Ohio, others. Can you pull the curtain back for anyone listening and just explain kind of how all that worked, how it came together and how it took everybody?
Yeah, this is an incredible project. I will tell you, having this role, this is really one of the things that made it really easy to want to step into the role that Keith is retiring from, is the fact that this is on the cusp of major development. What we call the area that historically I think alumni know as West Campus. It really is kind of bounded Lane Avenue to the north and kind of 315 Kenny Road area to the east, North Star to the west, and kind of the Kinnear Road corridor is on its south side. And, Keith Myers will jokingly refer to it as, the junk drawer of the university. Like over the years, like lots of kind of random things popped up there. But really fascinating is there's a lot of really important research happening, especially along Kinnear Road, kind of tucked in these old warehouses and buildings and it's not totally obvious to everyone. But we realized that there was a nucleus of critical research activity out there, and there was a lot of value in how closely connected it is to this corridor that Ohio has identified for a long time for innovation and growth. And so we took that opportunity to say, okay, how can we really drive it forward? What's held it back from being, more developed from a point of view of corporate research and partnerships between the university and research growth broadly. And we realized, infrastructure was one of the main reasons holding it back. And so over the past few years, we've worked really hard with the city of Columbus, an incredible partnership and support from them to figure out how to bring the infrastructure there that's needed to kind of unlock the potential development. So you'll see out there today, there's $750 million of construction happening right now already, and we're just getting started. There's thousands of jobs potential out here, and they're not call center jobs. They are really like high-end research jobs. They're jobs that will be the future employers for the students who will be graduating from Ohio State. So not only do we need to grow the research and innovation space that Central Ohio needs to meet the demand that is coming to Columbus and the region, but we also need to grow the talent. And so, it's like perfectly positioned for a land grant institution and the land grants pillars. So it's coupling research and innovation with this talent pipeline in our teaching mission. And so the Innovation District will be the home for those two things to really come together and include a lot of the corporate growth that we're seeing in the region as it relates to innovation and research.
And I know it's a hugely important project to President Johnson and to other senior leaders that have helped make it happen, like Jay Casey and Grace Wong. So exciting things happening in the Innovation District. And of course, Amanda and planning and real estate and even facilities operations and development are right in the middle of that. So it's always a good time chatting with you, Amanda. I tend to learn something new every time we talk. Congratulations on your new role that you'll take over on July 1st. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.
The City of Ohio State podcast is brought to you by the Office of Administration and Planning. On our next episode, we'll check in with a sustainability expert to see what Ohio State is doing to move the university closer to being a zero-waste campus and to reduce our carbon footprint. Until next time, be kind and go Bucks.